Greetings, salutations. So you can see the weather out here is all misty. It made me remember the movie The Mist. Stephen King had one of the best plot twists. Oh my gosh, I almost want to watch it again. But once you already have the plot twist, you don't need to watch it, you already know. But recommend it. Saturday, December 2nd. Damn, the time flies. It's been about 2 years since my mom passed away. The anniversary of that is coming up. Again, damn, time flies. But, December, we're gonna have Christmas vacation, winter vacation. I don't know how they word it nowadays. The first trimester, we do trimesters. The first trimester is finished. Got to do the grades this weekend. But I've been diligent. I've been putting grades in as they come in. So all I need to do is get those few stragglers and then put the official grades and then tweak it, because we're not allowed to let anyone fail, which is annoying. I had a kid, he had like a 30 and he was supposed to hand in something, which he did. He handed it in. But we're in class and he's like, yeah, I got a 30. He was proud of that. He wasn't like, oh, is there anything I could do? He was just like going to take the grade. So then I went in there and I gave him, like, he's a smart kid. I know he could do it. He just I don't know what the heck he's doing. So I put in the thing and he ended up getting like a 63. He's like, yeah, I got a 63. Like, why are you settling for a 63? You know, like, the other day I was telling the 8th graders, because I give them, it's a process. You know, I have them take notes, they don't take notes. I give them handouts, they lose their handouts. I say, we're going to have a pop quiz. They come, so you're going to have a pop quiz, but you can use your notes and the handouts. They come to class without the notes or the handout. So yesterday, or whenever this week, I'm like, I'm going to show you a trick. Here's your paper. If you put it inside your book, and of course that's what they do, and I prefaced it with saying, I did the same thing too growing up. I was probably worse. So I know the desire to just shove papers and have them all crinkly, because you don't care. But let me show you a trick. So then I went over there and I got a folder and I said, you take this paper and you open this folder, and then, you know, they're the TikTok, Instagram generation. So they're like, and then you put that paper inside there and they're like, and then you close it and then you open it and they're like, they're making all that, you know, the meme. Boom. And I'm serious, but I had to internally. I don't let them. You can't let them know that you're human. Like one student, he'd be like, "I made Mr. Bailey laugh." What? You don't think I laugh? But I understand. I was him too. I remember I was walking to the mall, and I want to say it was 6th, 7th grade, and this teacher, she's like, "Hey, you want to ride?" I'm like, sure. And I get in the car and she was playing You Can't Go For That. No. And I'm like, you listen to the same music as me? But you're a teacher. And I was telling everyone. I still remember her face. I don't remember her name. I want to say Mrs. Brown. So shout out to all the Mrs. Browns. But the teachers have that disconnect. Which, again, we were there. We didn't think teachers do stuff. But it's the first trimester. Not too many incidents happen. A lot of, got to learn each other's rhythms. So now I could say, all right, can you be quiet? And they will die down. And then the stragglers, I'll say, Jones, can you be quiet, please? Missy, can you put your iPad away? Thank you. But you can't say it like the trick is, I don't know, compassion. You got to say it in a way that, and my punishments are working. Like someone does X, Y, Z, and like, oh, Mr. Bailey's gonna have them right. And sometimes I don't even feel like doing a whole ordeal, but they're looking to see that the punishment is metered out because it has to be consistent. And sometimes I don't even deem it necessary, but I gotta come over there and do the show and put the paper. So basically, if they're doing X, Y, Z, I pull out a piece of paper. Analog works the best. I tried printing them out. I have some pre-wrote ones, but the best is you stand in front of them and you write it out. I will not, da-da-da-da-da. Boom. But the problem with that is they start writing it and then they get finished. So they're not doing whatever you're teaching, they're busy writing. One kid had the audacity to skip lines. Like, why are you skipping lines? It's 26 lines on that paper. I want 26 in. But then I got a tweaker because, people, the uncertainty of it. So this was a Friday one, and I devised it in such a way. I said, you're doing what you're doing, so you got to write. He was like, all right, I'll write it right now. It's like, no, you're going to write it on Monday. He's like, why? Because you will forget. And on Monday, when you come into the classroom, that's when you're going to be like, why I got to write this? And that's when it's going to... But after a whole semester, he's not arguing, because that's all they did the first month. Why? And I'm just like, because... I don't say because I said. I try to explain it, but now I'm just at the point where if you really want to talk about this, find me in recess. And instead of playing soccer or basketball or talking with your friends, you can talk to me. I'm there. And usually it works because they want to have their fun time. So I went to the therapist last week, and I think we're going to go this way, across the street. And I was saying, I'm always, talking about life with Dad. And she's like, can I interject something? I'm like, sure. And she's like, you do the same thing. And then she starts pulling out stories of when I said something in a similar context. And if we're speaking chess, checkmate or check. And I'm like looking around, that's not a checkmate. I still got moves. And I said, listen, it's all respectful, not whatever. I'm just like, yeah, of course we sound the same. Of course I do the same thing. I'm his son. Came from the same background. That makes sense. However, when I lived in Japan, I met all types of different people. Plus I read a lot of books, and Japan was a kind of time for me to soul search to decide if this is the right way to do things. So now, that's what's missing from the people that I'm encountering, because they're doing what they always done. I am trying my best to... It's hard. And we moved on from that point. So I'm assuming she thought that answer was sufficient enough to drop it. What else? I'm on day 312. I'm 20 days behind. So today I'm going to try to do the impossible. Not the impossible, because I've done similar, but I'm going to make 10 songs today and 10 songs tomorrow. And that'll put me on schedule to hit the 365. But, I could do it. Like, I'm walking outside in the rain. Actually, it's foggy. When I'm on this microphone, I'm jumping like a frog beat. You ain't got no problem with me, that's okay, I slay. Now go away, listen. There's no beat, and that's just off, But I could put words together, which I do every day. Now I've been doing 2 songs a day, and I'm getting used to that. The first one is just, the second one, you don't want to repeat whatever you repeated. But today I'm going for 10. Basically an album. I might even put it out as a mini album. I don't know. Marketing wise, I was thinking I can offer a limited edition. Here is the 365 2023, and you also get the 365 2020, and you also get the USB cassette tape with a personalized freestyle for you or something like that. I got a bunch of the tapes, the USB tapes that I haven't used, because you got to buy them in bulk, you know. But I'll let you guys know more about that if that's what you like to know about. What I want is a new computer. Because my computer, you know, it's a Mac Pro. It works, it does what it does, but I want to get into animation, and it won't be able to cut the mustard for that kind of style and stuff. So yeah, that's the goal. In my classroom, it's a carpeted floor with a radiator on the back and lots of metal. So since the radiator started turning on, because it's cold, the static electricity has been killing people. It'd be like you walk up and you're like, I don't want to touch, I don't want to, bah! And you hand something to your friend or student or whatever, bah! Like it's like, and if the conditions are right, like if it's dark enough, you could see the little spark, and the kids be like, I got shot. Like, it likes you. It's giving you a high five, but it's annoying. And then my computer, I plug it up to the TV or the smart screen. When I touch the space bar, it shocks it, and then it makes the screen flicker. That's annoying, because if I'm like doing whatever. So I was talking to the art teacher, and she's like, maybe a humidifier. Dehumidifier would work. And then I Googled it, and they're like, yeah, that could work. And I found some, like $80, but I don't know where to put it and how annoyingly loud it might be or not be. I don't want to pay $80, so I'm gonna ask the principal if she could get it. But yeah, there's that. Dating in 2023. So last week, a couple weeks ago, I think it was last week, I was talking to my friend, and I was telling her we're talking about dating apps, and she's like, yeah, I do not swipe on guys that don't smile, and guys that don't show their interest, and guys da-da-da-da-da. And my profile is kind of like that. I put pictures I thought were cool, but then I redid it to what she said she doesn't like. And I also said I don't swipe on profiles where they're like, I'm a strong, independent woman, which is cool, but I just feel we're gonna have a lot of arguments about just random stuff. And then so I redid my profile, more pictures of me smiling. I don't like my smile. I mean, I like it, but, and again, it's kind of like body dysmorphia. I believe that's how you say it. So you're looking at yourself in a way that other people probably ain't looking at you like. Like right now, I got a little stomach, dad bod, but you can't see it from outside. You would have to be like naked. And then if we're both naked, it's not like, I mean, some people, there's probably somebody's like, wow, you're kind of fat. Actually, I know some people who do that. I wouldn't do that. But so anytime I'm out and about, and I'll be like, they're like, oh, do you want some more? I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to watch my weight. They're like, you? But yeah, so when it comes to my smile, my teeth are not like, they're not where I want them to be. So I don't smile. Like that. But I did find some pictures where I was smiling because someone else took the picture, like a moment in time. One moment in time. And I put those up. So then I started to get like all these, like people actually pursuing me. And the one, she's like, hey, handsome. Oh my God. I'm really interested in you. I'm like, wow. Now, was I interested in her? No. Did I talk to her? Yeah. Because she's the first one, and we talked, and you know, whatever. But then the second part comes in. They always live all the way in Bumblefuck. Meaning it takes like an hour and a half to get to wherever they are, which is annoying. And then all the people who live in my city, they just never show any interest. It's like weird. Oh, he's in our city, so he's not even worth my time. But, you know, a whole week of my new profile, and I started getting a lot of different types of people. And talking to them all kind of at the same time. And just as of yesterday, someone's like, so you teach so do you think you need a kid? And I said, well, I would like to have a mini me one day. And she's like, well, I don't want kids, so I don't think I'm the one for you. Like, what? Like, I said, I would want kids. I would like to see a mini me one day, but first I need to get a girlfriend. Yeah, you don't really need to get a girlfriend. You don't really need a girlfriend. Maybe your wife is better, but whatever. But she's just like, yeah, I don't want kids. I don't think you're the one for me. And I'm just like, well, I teach. So these kids, my students showed me why I'm not trying to get kids anytime soon. And then we moved on from there. But who does that? Sometimes they'd be like, so, what are you trying to do? You trying to get married? Like, I don't even know you, ma'am. Can we meet first? Have an argument about who's sleeping in the wet spot? If that's a thing anymore? I like that, where is it? That truck still beep the horn when kids do that. It's annoying because when we come out my school and the kids are like, they're like, please do not beep. They're like, rah, rah. And like, yay! The simple things in life. Speaking about simple things in life, we have an issue. Parents of the world, future parents. TikTok, Instagram, influencers. I would say it's influencers. That's the issue. TikTok, Instagram, they're just the medium for them to do what they do. Back in the day, we did have people who influenced people. Here, let me get out the street before I get ran over. So we did have people who influenced people, like AI. He wasn't a role model. Eminem wasn't a role model. And they always say, I'm not a role model. But people still aspire to be the rich, the wealthy, and whatever. And then there's always the pushback. Like, the FCC won't let me be. They try to shut me down on MTV, but this feels so empty without me. Like, shit like that. Eazy-E, fuck the police. Like, there's always that thing where the governments had power. The parents, remember we had to get back in the day, we had to buy CDs, and if they had a lot of swearing, we were forced to buy the PG one, or they would bleep out everything. So, what song was it? I forget what it was, but I'm so used to the clean version, I don't even know all the words they were saying. We just heard the clean version. Well, the issue is now that kids, they're bypassing, like YouTube, I mean, there's filters on there. TikTok, I don't know if the filters, I mean, parents have to be active doing the filtering. But the kids are saying all that shit. And, oh, that's sus. Glizzy. I don't even know what that means. I gotta like look it up because they use it a lot. And, or Rizzy, risen. But they're being indoctrinated. They're learning directly from. So here's the issue. The influencers are people who look like them. So a little 11-year-old boy or girl is following some influencer that has more subscribers. Don't even need to be like 1 million, just has more. And now they're the authority of 11-year-old stuff. And these kids kind of, now it goes both ways. Like, I heard my kids talking about, oh, I'm gonna get a job and get a food truck, and I'm gonna this, and so they're getting all types of inputs, but it's confusing. They don't like they were saying to me. Well, they say this all the time, but last week they were saying, it's like, why do I gotta learn about XYZ? How come we're not learning about taxes? We have to pay taxes, which it's true. How come we gotta go to art class and music class? How come we're not learning about politics? Which is true. Like, I commend them. But it kind of caught me off guard. Because I do agree with them. I remember when I was in high school class. And they told us we had to know that the bird has stripes on his ass. And I wonder, when the hell am I gonna ever need that? So I failed the class. And life went on. But the fact is, the people who made this curriculum, or the people who have the lack of curriculum, like in my case, we're doing the best we can. But I was trying to explain to him that school is kind of like a precursor. It's kind of to get you prepared for life. So the other day, the kid, like, because I was saying, because I always say stuff like, if you don't do this, you guys are not going to have recess. Like, how come you're trying to restrict us, and how come you can't do what we want to do? I'm like, listen, right now, you're losing recess, but there may be a time where you might not be able to choose the food you want to eat. Like, who's going to make me not eat the food I want to eat? And I didn't say it in a way that's like, oh, you're going to end up in jail. Because they said that to me. You're either going to drop out or be dead or end up in jail. I didn't put it that way. I'm hoping they didn't perceive it that way. But I'm like, yeah, there's places where they control when you eat, sleep. Like, where? Like the prison. Like, well, I'm not going to go to the prison. I mean, no, you won't. But if you do the things you're not supposed to do, you might end up there. Yeah. But I'm just trying to craft. I'm trying my best. It's really hard though, because kids are kids and they got their backgrounds. They may have parents that, like my ex-girlfriend in Japan, she knew how I was, but she would come down there and in Japanese be like, my boyfriend, da, da, da. Like she would tell them off. I'm like, because usually Japanese people are really so kind and well. That's the perception. Maybe some, but you know, humans are humans. But she come down there, because one time I ordered a tripod for my camera. And I went to the store and the guy's like, it's not here, even though Amazon said it is there. So she came down like, my boyfriend said it's here. He's like, he's getting all nervous. And then it ended up being in the back of the store. He's like, my bad. And he gave us ramen noodle. But she went to bat for me. So maybe their parents are like that, so they might do stupid shit. And their parents are like, oh, he's only 11 years old, so you gotta... Yo, so the other day I went to the bank, right? I went to the bank. And I go to the bank, and there's a black lady there, and she hates me. I don't know if I brought this up. But every time I go into the bank, and I go in there and I get her, she's like, what do you want? Like, I would like to make a withdrawal. One time I came in there and I could see her go, can I help you? Like, what? What'd I do to you? Now, she used to, when I was doing Zumba, you remember I was doing Zumba? She was one of the Zumba-E's. She wore those garter belts that suck your stomach in, and her boobs are pushed out and her butt's all like that, and maybe, I don't know. And then she'd sit off the side and do her dance. So when I connected that, oh, you work at the bank. Maybe this happened. She's like, oh, it's a random guy that's it, because I'm the only guy. Oh, it's that random guy who's in the class with me. Hi. But I didn't recognize her, and she thought maybe I was just throwing shade. I don't know. But either way, every time I come into that bank, she just shows no love. Luckily, some other guy went to her, and then I went to this guy. He's like, oh, how's your dad doing? I'm like, oh, he's doing all right. How was your Thanksgiving? It's like, it was good. And I even went, how was yours? Normally, I don't ask because I don't care. But I wanted to. How was yours? Like, oh, it was a quiet one. Da, da, da. So the guy that was in her lane, he's like, hi, I would like to do this. And I don't know if you can do it, but at my bank, PNC, we're at Truist, if you know the area. At my bank, PMC, they can cut me a check on the day. Because for whatever reason, I don't have a checking account. So the lady's like, oh, we can't cut checks anymore. We can give you a cashier's check. We can give you a money order. He's like, no, it has to be a check because they won't accept anything else. And he's like, well, that. So then he goes from that and he goes, well, if you cannot cut me a check, I will tell me how to get all my money out. All 10,000 of my dollars, I'll take them out right now. How can you? He's like shouting about this. And so then the manager, she comes out because you could hear him shouting about it. It's like, yeah, we used to cut checks on on October 2023, we no longer do that. Like, oh, wow. I'll take all my money out if you cannot. And like he's threatening them. And I'm like, maybe they need the money. $10,000 is a lot. Can you know banks invest that shit? So, I'd be like, well, then fuck you and fuck your money too. But they can't say that. But, so then, man, so yeah, I think it was connected to just, I forget. It was just jarring. So then I'm talking to the lady and she's like, well, a random guy's kind of like, maybe he should check his manners. And then I'm talking to my lady like, yeah, that's really weird. And she's like, and we're all like, and then you could hear him in the office like I forget what that's connected to. Kids being kids, or maybe just in a general, I don't want my students to walk around life doing that. There's other ways to communicate. But yeah, it was really weird. But that's how I got in Japan. And it happened like that. Not yelling, because, you gotta be respectful, but it'd be like, hi, I would like to do X, Y, Z. And like, you can't do that. Yes, you can. Did it yesterday. Well, you can't. Yeah. And then it'll be like, it's a law of Japan that no, it isn't. You did it yesterday. And then the person who did it yesterday comes in, oh, you could do it yesterday. And then I'll be like, oh, I didn't know. But yeah, man. Yeah. So I guess somehow we jumped all around the world, but dating, yeah. So apps. I'm down to 3, I guess. One person said they love zombies. Like, you love zombies? And we always talk about zombies. They live in the area. Another person, they live even closer in the area. Hey, look, it's a weird colored Rudolph. What? This is a different species. You're not going to be able to see it. But they're gray squirrels with brown tails. You can't see it. I've never seen gray squirrels with brown tails. I wish I would have studied in science class. I would be able to identify them and let you guys know. I failed you. I failed you as a person who makes videos. I wish I had the ability. Look at you. I see you, Grace Bottom. He's standing up there. Look, you can't even see him. Can you see him? I see you. Like, he's standing, like, look how well, you can't see him, but he's standing right there. He might be a wild. I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna just, yeah. Oh, man. So, let's see. Anything else? That's about it, man. Black Friday kicked my ass, as I mentioned before. They're still saying Black Friday, because, it's... So, yesterday, my kids asked, because I was using YouTube, they're like, how comes I don't see those ads on my computer? Which I thought was a great learning point. And I'm like, why do you think? And like, because, like, no. Because it's more, no. Because they're watching you. It's locked in. But I try not to, there's a balance. I don't want to tell them too much stuff. And especially if it's not relevant. Social media and influencers and all that, I have to be very careful of things I say, because I find myself in some hot water, such as when we come back from recess, they're playing with the soccer balls and footballs and basketballs. So if I said, will you stop playing with them balls? I'm gonna hear, hey, yo! So now I gotta dance around. Can you please put the recess equipment in the right place? If I say something like, I know that the test or this subject is hard, but you have to push harder. Hey, I would have to throw pause in it, but I'm not doing that. I might do this next, especially with the 8th graders, be like, hey, yo. And I'll be like, listen, I said what I said. Throw it over to Doja Cat. And you know Doja Cat? But I won't connect that I do know it. I just leave. I said what I said. Drop it. Last week we had I had to teach the kids about, like, it was like, I forget what they call it, God's grace or some shit, like an after school special type of lesson. And it goes from, like, you have to talk about pornography and all those things, all these words. I was reading the script and I just skipped over because they're not mature enough, and they'll just go into I don't want them knowing words and concepts. I don't even they know it, but I don't want them. So I'm dancing around the stuff, and I kind of focused on just, all right, scenario. If you are on the internet and someone looks like a kid and they ask you for pictures, what do you do? And they're like, oh, you send them because it's a kid. No, you do not. You don't send any pictures. Well, I'm gonna send pictures of my feet because people like to buy those things. Like, they know stuff, you know? So it was very light, and we just kept it moving. But yeah. And then the other issue with social media and this era, this generation, like, you know, in school we used to talk, there used to be rumors, but they were snail mail. It'd be like notes. I don't think I ever ended up in one of those books. I forget what they're called, but where you write shit about people. I mean, one time I somehow managed to go home with a popular girl. Her brother was on the football team. She was like, whatever. And I went home, and somehow both of her pants were down. And blah, 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 blah. So I'm sure I ended up in the book because only popular kids are writing stuff about people. But we didn't become anything because nothing happened. I didn't know what to do. I was young. But now these kids are they're going to share whatever straight to the internet. And once it's out there, you can't, like, erase it. I think one of our kids left the school because of it. I don't really know things. They don't tell me. But she just kind of left. And she was a nice kid. Like a Mean Girls kind of thing happening. Really sweet kids, but, you know, outside of school, and teachers need to monitor all that. And really, I don't think I can, and I really want that to move away. But I don't think it's ever gonna move from our times, because that's what it is now, social media. So I'm trying to arrive, come to a way where I can use social media in a way that would be beneficial for young people, the music idea. But the issue is I tell people the idea and they might say, "Ooh, that's a great idea." But I need people down there with me in the trenches, like testing out shit, like a music man, like a guy at the piano, and he'll make a melody, and I'll be like, "At school, and then I don't have that. I never did. So the next best thing is I have thousands of musical inspirational loops, pianos and violins, and that's what I bought on Black Friday, a bunch of these starters that I could chop up and make it do what it do. Still, it'd be nice to have like a person, but again, no one's really seeing. I mean, I guess I could reach out to established people, but I guess that's the only option. Lend my skills to someone established, like a company. Someone reached out to me on Fiverr, and they're like, "Hey, we need you to write a song in the style of Biggie Smalls." I'm like, okay. And then they sent a link to what their site was about. And I need the money. I really do. Not like I'm struggling, but money from music is always a good thing. It's like, it's in my domain. But it was a picture. It was like a emoji of shit, like a little shit emoji. And all their songs was just like a shit emoji doing things. Like I don't know if I want my name or face or anything attached to a shit emoji, the parody thing. So I kind of just let it go. But I'm pretty sure they would have paid. Like, that's that line. I can't cross it. And again, I would love that. Let's say they gave me $100. That's $100 less than I need for the computer. But, you know, integrity. And you might say, "Oh, you got integrity. But the thing is, integrity doesn't pay the bills, you know? I know a lot of people with integrity, and then they got rid of their integrity, and they made their money, and then they got back their integrity. Like, it's one of those things. But, yeah. Oh, man. So, let's see here. Anything. Yeah, that's about it, man. Yeah, that's about it. Life's happening. I don't know if I made the video last week. I don't know when it happened. Can't remember. But the other day I went to the corner store. 'Cause I haven't gone to that corner store. It's not really on my corner. It's like 3 blocks in a corner up. But it's a nice one. So I go in there just to say hi, and I'm like, hey. And he's like, hey, long time no see. Like, yeah. And then we start talking. I was in that store. I bought what I bought. And then I was in the store talking to him for a good hour and some change. Just talking about random stuff. I'm interested because it's corner stores in this area are usually owned by, I don't want to say Indian, Middle Eastern. Well, Indian, he's Indian, whatever. So I don't know much about. At one point I want to ask, why is that? Maybe he has insight to how that came about. But normally they don't talk to me. Here it is, how much. The one guy, he don't even put it in my hand. He just, oh, hey, yo. I said what I said. He just like throws it on the ground. Doesn't smile. So, yeah, but this guy, he talks, and at one point he's like, yeah, I found that if I talk to the customers, they come back. He said that sometimes I give them extra stuff. Like, they bought this, but I give them extra stuff. And most people like getting free things because as a store, you know, we get it for free or really cheap. So it's nothing for me to give it like that. Just, I'm a little distracted. I would show you what I'm distracted by, but I'll be respectful. But, okay, eyes over. Actually, I can't even do that because it might look like, you know how it is these days. All right, let me go this way. So we're just talking, and we talked about kids today, and he talked about his daughter, and we're just talking. It was a really nice conversation. I don't think he knows my name. I only know his name because one of his other customers came like, hey, Bruce. I did give him a card last year, Thanksgiving card, to thank him for being such a great person. I don't know him. He could be the worst. But, yeah, again, I got, but, yeah, I don't think I'll be able to make this video anymore. But anyway, we were at 38. I was talking to someone, and they said they're 37 or something. So I said, I remember when I was 37. Like, you're not that old. But Caesar Matthew? But yeah. All right, so anything else? So this is the store right here. It used to be a Blockbuster. No, it wasn't a Blockbuster. It was a smaller kind of video store. But you know, Netflix kind of killed that industry. But anyway, all's well on my end. As always, I hope you guys are doing good, being safe, and yeah, keep you updated about the wonderful, interesting life of writing. Peace.